What's up guys, it's Doc with Redbeard Airsoft. Just got home, there's a package waiting for me. This is the Evike Box of Awesomeness from the 2017 Airsoftcon celebration. Let's get to it, see what's inside. There's a couple other things that I ordered in this round, so I know there's going to be a battery and some BBs, but I don't know what the gun is. Alright, here are my BBs. Battery, and let's see, I have a CO2 power pistol. That is interesting. Alright, well I'll check that one out later. Not sure how much hope I really have for this thing. And here's the rifle. I can see it's an S&T airsoft gun. Hasn't been opened yet, so at least I know it's new. It does look like it's seen a little bit of wear in its travels, but hopefully the gun inside is okay. Alright, so let's take a look. Okay, so what we have here is an Evike Matrix custom built Terminator style P90. Instead of using the typical P90 mags, you put an M4 magazine in here and it works just like a box mag. You can pour BBs down this hatch if it'll open. There you go. Pour BBs down this hatch, run it like a box mag. Don't have to worry about the awkward P90 mag changes. Comes with the rail system already put on it. You can take off this horrendous orange flash hider. Very small, very compact weapon. We'll see how it shoots and if it really is built like a CQB or more like a field gun. It's another day and I'm back here with my new Terminator style P90 by S&T, assembled by Evike. I've done a little bit of disassembly work on it. Most notably, I took off the flash hider here. Couple things to note, it is not threaded on. It was simply glued onto the end of the barrel, so I did have to break it off. The other reason I had to break it off is it had a tiny pin securing the orange flash hider, if you will, onto the end of the barrel, and it was not threaded. It is simply just a smooth retaining pin. And let me get you in here closer to show you what I'm talking about. Here is the end of this fake suppressor, if you will. Here is the hole where that pin was, and here is the pin itself, and you can see it is not threaded. So I did have to basically crush it with some pliers and pull it out, and with that I was able to get the end cap off here. Again, you can see no threads there inside that hole, and definitely no threads on the inside of the end cap. And I'll go ahead and clean off a lot of this glue residue. Essentially what Evike has done is taken a standard S&T P90 and added on some custom externals essentially to the front here. Once you get the orange flash hider off, you can actually unscrew this end cap. And what you'll find is a spring and some foam and several more pieces of foam. In here, what I have, 3 pieces of foam stuffed into this mock suppressor, if you will, that's on the end. The actual inner barrel still only comes to the end here. Now, I wouldn't be expecting them to take it apart and put in a new inner barrel. Just externals added onto the front end. There will be something to keep in mind, especially when we look at the chrono test and accuracy, is if our inner barrel only goes to here, I have all of this space where I could potentially put in a much longer inner barrel. So if we need to increase our feet per second, that will increase it modestly, and it may also increase our accuracy a little bit. So something to keep in mind. One more thing to note before we do a chrono test is the battery compartment is actually here in the back end. It has a press button here that you will depress, and then the back piece slides off, this back butt plate, and the battery goes into here, and as you can see, it's a small Tamiya connector. For our chrono test, I will be using this 1800 milliamp 7.4 volt LiPo battery. It fits easily in there, connects easily, and all goes back together. And there you go. For this chrono test, I'll be using Elite Force .20 gram BBs. In the end, this P90 has all the hallmarks of a Chinese gun. And I'm not just talking about the Made in China sticker labeled right on the side. With an overpowered spring and an underpowered motor to pull it, this gun is in no way fieldable at any of the places that I play. Like every Chinese clone gun, I'm going to have to open it up, I'm going to have to change some of the internals. Most certainly I'm going to have to reshim it, clean some of the grease off. But I will probably drop the FPS down to about 350. I'm in need of a 350 FPS close quarters type gun. This may be it. I do like all the added rail space, especially for me, so I can run cameras. And I was pleasantly surprised by the feeding system. It did feed much, much better for me than the traditional P90 mags. I did try firing both. And I was only feeding like every other round with the standard P90 mags. I do look forward to shooting it, it's going to take a little bit of work. And that brings me to the other contents of this box of awesomeness, the so-called Excalibur. This is a potential disaster based on the little handling I've had with it. Couple things to know. The warning is etched right on the side. Made in Slovakia. Can't even make a joke there. The trigger on it is pretty disgusting to pull. Stage one, and then it breaks. Unclear why it keeps such a long initial pull before it breaks. It just feels absolutely gross to pull. Again, just all this play, and then finally breaks at the end. This does nothing, not a functional mag release. This is your functional mag release. So pressing it will eject the magazine. The magazine is a CO2 magazine, single stack carve-outs on the side to make it look cool, I guess. I really don't have high hopes for it. That said, let's take it out and shoot it and see what it's like. Once again, I'll be using Elite Force .20 gram BBs for testing this Excalibur Grand Power by Tolmar. Oh, that is gross. Turned off the chronograph. Alright. And scared the bejesus out of my dog. Alright, well, fired a whole magazine, and all I get is over. Just the greatest sign. I should not be using this gun. Alright, I finally got a reading with it on my second magazine, and look at that. That is unsafe. There is no way you should be using that indoors. Third magazine. And just so you can see what kind of power we're talking about, those first few shots put holes through the back of this BB catch and through the patio furniture that I was using just to brace it. Alright, well that's it for this box of awesomeness. I gotta say, the P90, fun gun, I'm excited to work on it, but I cannot recommend it for anybody unless you are willing to get into the gearbox and know that you're not going to be able to field it until you've taken it apart and worked on it, or had your local tech work on it. And then for this thing, this ugly waste of metal, this is an absolute no-go. Not only is it ugly with engraved markings, you know, a non-retracting spring guide, it also has the worst trigger pull I've ever felt, and honestly, its velocity is not just too high, it's unsafe. I gotta say, steer clear of this, stick with your well-known pistol brands, and you're not gonna be disappointed. You're not gonna end up with something that is this ugly and dangerous. You want your FPS on a pistol to definitely be at least below 400. Alright, that's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know if you've ever bought one of these mystery boxes or a box of awesomeness, and if so, what you got? Were you happy? Were you, like me, a little disappointed? I'm Doc with Redbeard Airsoft. I'll see you on the field.